My other anti-RC walk bases were all about stopping the Royal Champion from reaching the Town Hall. But this base doesn't even let her touch the core defenses. So today, I'm going to break down this Town Hall 13 anti-RC walk base in full detail. Let's get into the analysis. If you've been following along with my recent uploads, especially the anti-RC walk bases for all town halls, you already know I've stressed one thing over and over. Keep the Royal Champion away from the Town Hall. That's because of the Giga Poison, or the Giga Bomb effect. So I've stuck to the same principle here, but made it even stronger. Not only does this base keep the Royal Champion out of range of the Town Hall, but she can't even path anywhere close to the core defenses unless a perfect, dedicated funnel is built just for her. And let's be honest, most attackers will just throw her at the outer edge and keep spamming Invis spells instead of trying to funnel her into the core. So, all she does is stick to clearing trash buildings like archer towers and cannons. Now I know some of you might recognize this layout and think it looks similar to an older design. But don't be fooled. I've made a lot of tweaks to adapt this for the current meta, and those tweaks make all the difference. So let's start with the core. The spacing is the key. There's a 6+ tile gap between the outer defense ring and the actual core compartment. And that's all it takes to throw off the Royal Champion's pathing. She's not going to jump compartments or cross dead zones without something pulling her in. She just walks the outer ring. Now, inside the core, this is where the real punishment is. We've got the scatter shots. We've got the Town Hall itself. 4 X-bows locked onto ground. A single target inferno for the high HP units like dragons, P.E.K.K.A.s, or super witches, and the sweepers, perfectly placed to push air troops right out of their path. Then there's the hero coverage. 3 heroes locked into this core area. So if anything does get in, they'll be dealing with Queen, Warden, and even the Minion Prince all at once. That's way too much heat for any army to handle without a ton of spells. But the pain doesn't end there. Let's talk about the multi-inferno section. At a glance, it might look like it's not that dangerous, but wait till you see what's under the surface. We've packed this area with giant bombs, small bombs. It's a full-on splash damage minefield. And then you've got the Barbarian King sitting in the middle of it, absorbing damage, distracting everything while the splash hits pour in. In one of the Queen Charge hybrid attacks, you'll see the entire hybrid force just melt here. They don't even make it to the multi-inferno before vanishing. Now let's shift to the air defense coverage. This is something I've also been focusing on a lot. Each air defense is spaced out from nearby buildings, so you're not giving away any chain value. No way E-drags are zapping through compartments or pulling off big chains. Instead, the air defenses stay up longer, chewing through dragons or balloons before they even get close to the core. And the longer those air defenses stay up, the more time the core has to shred anything flying in. One more thing that really makes this base work: the dead zone around the core. This isn't just open space. This is a calculated setup designed to mess up pathing for both ground and air. Without a clean funnel, nothing goes into the core. Troops will circle, stall, split. Anything but actually enter the kill zone. And like I said earlier, the Royal Champion has no chance of walking into the center without a dedicated, well-planned funnel, which most attackers won't do in multiplayer or even in war unless they know the base in advance. So all in all, this base isn't just a defensive layout, it's a trap. It forces bad pathing, punishes lazy RC walks, and melts entire armies once they step into the real core. Even if it looks familiar, this version is fully upgraded for the current Town Hall 13 meta, and it's already getting solid results. Alright, now let's get into the defensive replays and show exactly why this Town Hall 13 anti-RC walk base is brutal. First up, we've got a Royal Champion walk into Hydra spam. The champion starts from the right side of the base, and just like I said earlier, watch her carefully. She never heads into the core. She just keeps circling the outer ring. Now, just after I say that, the attacker gets a bit lucky. Some of the CC troops pull her slightly inward, and she manages to step closer to the core, but that actually backfires. She steps straight into the core's dead zone. The fire effect from the furnace melts her even under invisibility. She's gone before doing any serious damage. Now, the attacker sets the top funnel and sends the dragons in from the center. But remember, we've still got both sweepers alive and the dead zone holding strong. Some dragons try to push into the core, but the sweepers push them back just in time. Others circle. The town hall doesn't go down until the last-second clutch by the super minions. Just barely a 2-star, but it's still a solid defensive hold. Now, here's the second replay. RC walk dragons again. This time, the royal champion comes in from the left side. But again, no surprise, she stays stuck on the outer edge, clearing basic defenses. Even though she clears the Tesla farm and grabs a bit of value, the giant bombs take a toll. And again this time, luckily she steps into the core as the defensive heroes puller her. But the attacker runs out of spells. Not enough to push her in for real value. Still, she sets a clean funnel. Then the bottom side is funneled, and the dragons get sent straight toward the core. This time, the rage helps. The dragons push hard, but again, the sweepers stall them. The Giga Poison slows them down, and the minion twins at the back end clean up the rest. Another strong defense with no threat of a triple. Third replay, we've got Super Yetis. The RC comes in from the 430 side, stays on the outside, and she gets recalled quickly. Then, the Queen and Siege Barracks set the funnel from the 730 corner. All the Super Yetis are sent in between. Now, the attacker is smart. He uses wall breakers up front and saves the jump spell for the back end. Pathing is good, the funnel's clean, but as soon as those Yetis step into the core, everything goes wrong. The DPS is just overwhelming. Even the high HP Super Yetis can't survive. And here's where we saw a small weakness. The Barbarian King, with a giant gauntlet, managed to get serious value on the backside. If he had gone into the core, it could have been more dangerous. But since there are 3 separate compartments without the right jump, that was a risky move anyway. Let's move to the fourth replay. Queen Charge Hybrid. The Queen enters from the 730 corner. And to be fair, she gets a pretty good value without needing rage spells. Once the Queen's got her funnel set, the King and Siege Barracks work the opposite side, and all the miners and hogs go in between. But here's what I said in the base breakdown, this section is heavily trapped. The attacker didn't expect it, and because of poor timing on the Warden ability, the entire hybrid force gets wiped. No chance for recovery. There's not enough power to push through. The Queen tries to clutch a second star by walking into the town hall. She gets in, but the core damage is too much. 1-star defense, huge result. Final replay, we've got a fireball switch. The fireball takes out the multi-inferno and even the Queen, and the early phase looks promising, but the attacker doesn't notice the Tesla farm still up, and that messes with the funnel badly. The troops path around, splitting wide. Now the King's Earthquake Boots does open up the walls and bring them back toward the core. But again, that core is absolute poison. The damage is so high, they're melted before they even touch the town hall. And those that don't get funneled back into the core, they're picked off by point defenses one by one. Another clean defense. And that's it. This Town Hall 13 anti-RC walk base shuts down every kind of RC funnel, stalls dragons, melts hybrids, and denies Super Yeti pushes with sheer core power and trap synergy. Even the attackers with good funnels and strong spell usage couldn't get through the core without losing too much. And that's the whole point. We're not just defending the Town Hall, we're punishing anything that dares to approach it. I'll break down more of these bases soon for every Town Hall. Like and subscribe so you don't miss those breakdowns and the best defenses. Base link is in the description. Go copy it and start defending. I'll see you in the next one.